Welcome back to the channel. This is Abdullah Galal from galalacademy.com, and in the video today I'm going to explain to you in details what is the meaning of the alternative account number in the general ledger master data in SAP S/4HANA and SAP ECC. So this is a question I received recently, and in order to answer this question I have to explain to you what is the link between the charts of accounts and the company code, and how many charts of accounts we can assign to the same company code. So I'm going to explain this first, and then I will show you the configuration. So where do we assign the different charts of accounts to a company code? And then I'm also going to explain to you what is the impact of having this field in the master data on our accounting entries, and how do we change it if needed, which is not an easy thing and we shouldn't do it. But it happens that we need to change this field sometimes in the master data. So all of this I'm going to explain in the video today. I'm going to cover all the details. It will be a very interesting video. But before we start, we are still on the 2nd of March 2025. So this is actually the second video I record tonight. And in case you haven't yet seen the first video, so the 2nd of March is the second night of Ramadan. If you are watching this video during Ramadan, then Ramadan Kareem. I wish you and your beloved ones a very blessed month. Now let's get to our video, and I will start by explaining what is the link between the different charts of accounts and our company code. So this is a quick slide that explains the concept of the different charts of accounts. You can always hear people saying that we can assign 3 charts of accounts to our company code. We actually don't assign 3 charts of accounts, we assign only 2, but then one of the 2 is assigned to a third one. So this is the link that we have here. So first of all, we have here, for example, 2 company codes. And I'm going to explain to you the business concept, why we need all of these. So we have our 2 company codes here. I have one company code that's in France and another that's in Brazil. And I have chosen Brazil on purpose because it is very complicated. It has very specific finance needs. So Brazil and France are very different in terms of charts of accounts. So the different GL accounts that are being used. In our company code, so both company codes belong to the same group. And usually when all the company codes belong to a group, we have the same operational chart of account. So the operational chart of account is what you use in all the different accounting entries. This is the one that we have in FS00. This is the one we use to post manual accounting entries, integrated entries. This is the one we configure in the account determination. So this is our operational chart of account. It is the main one that we actually use. Others are only mapping, but this is the one that we actually use in all our transactions. And normally when all companies belong to one group, we use the same operational chart of account. And the reason we do this is because you want communication to be easy between the different business units. So for example, now we have our company code in France and we have another company code in Brazil. Maybe we have a support center for finance or for SAP in France or in another country. And then when people talk together, they always say, whenever we post the inventory, it should go to the account number 700 something. Whenever we post cash, it goes to the account 100 something. When we post, for example, expenses, it goes to the account 600 something, and so on. So all the accounts are common and shared between the different legal entities. This makes communication easier, instead of having different chart of accounts in every company, which will make it impossible for the team to actually configure the system, communicate together, understand what's happening, share the documentation of the finance policy, and so on. So whenever we have different companies in the same group, we always have the operational chart of account as one operational chart of account that's being used in all the different countries, in all the different legal entities we have. But then in each country, so this is our operational chart of account. It is the one that we share between all the different company codes. This is the business concept. In SAP, we assign an operational chart of account to each company code. So we can have one that we assign to all company codes, or if you have a specific needs to assign a different operational chart of account to a company code, you can do so. So I will show you the screen. Next to each company code, we assign an operational chart of account. It can be the same as the other ones, or it can be a different one. But the business concept is usually we have one operational chart of account being used across all the group. Then the second type of chart of accounts is the local chart of account. So now we said that all our different companies in all the different countries will use the same operational chart of account. But there are always legal entities to use a specific chart of account for legal reporting in the country. So for example, in France, you have to report in the Plan Comptable Général, so the French chart of account, and it has a very strict structure that you have to follow. And this is something you cannot escape. So you have to report locally in the legal chart of account for France. In Brazil, you would have the same thing. In all the different countries, you would have local needs for a specific chart of account that matches the tax regulations and so on. So in this case, you have to assign a local chart of account to your company code. And this is something we can do also in SAP. So first we have our operational chart of account that we assign to the company code. And then we also have the local chart of account that we can assign to the company code. And then whenever we post anything in SAP, we always post to the operational chart of account. But in the GL master data, for the GL account and the company code, we insert an alternative account number. So this is the one I showed you when we started the video. And I'm going to switch to a demo now and show you all of this in configuration and also in business end. But so this is the alternative account number that we have in the GL master data. This is on the level of the company code and the GL account. So whenever we post anything to our operational chart account, and if there is an alternative account number assigned to the GL account, SAP is also going to copy this alternative account number to the accounting entry. So this way you have the accounting entries in both the local chart account and also the operational chart account. The third type of chart accounts is the group chart account, and this is the one that you have in blue here. So this is the one that we use for consolidation. It can be similar to the operational chart account, or it can be different. So it can have different structure. In consolidation, sometimes we gather multiple accounts that we use in operations. We gather them all in one account, for example. So consolidation has different requirements, and it has a different specific chart of accounts. And this is a chart of account that we do not assign to the company code directly, but we assign to the operational chart of account. So whenever we define an operational chart of accounts, inside the definition, we assign a group chart of accounts if needed. And then in the GL account master data, there is a field for the group account number, but this is not on the level of the company code. It is the level of it is on the level of the general GL account. And I'm going to show you this in the master data. So the group account number is the connection between the operational GL account and the group or the consolidation GL account. So the group chart account or the consolidation one is not assigned to the company code. This is a question that comes sometimes in SAP exams. So it's not assigned to the company code, but it is assigned to the operational chart of accounts. So these are the three different types of chart of accounts we have in SAP: operational, local, and group. Now let's switch to SAP, and I'm using SAP S/4HANA 2023, but the same what I'm going to explain now applies to SAP ECC also. This concept has not changed. So now I'm going to switch to SAP, and let me show you first. So this is the GL account master data, and here we have the alternative account number. But before we get to this, let me switch to the configuration, and I'll show you where we can connect the different chart of accounts or the different charts of accounts to our company code. So now I'm going to open the configuration /OSPRO, and here we go to financial accounting, general ledger, and then we have master data, GL accounts, preparations, and here we have the configuration for the charts of accounts. So first we have edit chart of account list. So this is where we define the charts of accounts. So open this. For example, the chart of account, the operational chart of account I'm using is AG00. Chart of accounts AG00. We have a description, the maintenance language, the length of the GL account number. Notice that the maintenance language is the main one, but we can have different languages in each GL account. So in the GL account, there is a tab where we can maintain the description in different languages, but this is the main maintenance language. And then we have the length of the GL account number. This is very important. So this is the length of the GL account number that we cannot exceed, which means that any GL account will have 6 digits. And then here we have the group chart of accounts under the consolidation box here. So this is the link between the operational chart of account and the group chart of account. Now let's go back. So next I'm going to show you the configuration of the local chart of account I'm using today, which is FRCA, French chart of accounts. So if I open this one, it also has the maintenance language English. This can be French, of course, in real life, because this is the local chart of account for France. And we have the length of the GL account 6. It can be less, it can be more. And I don't have anything else in the definition. So let's go back. And the last one I have is the group chart of account, which is the consolidation one, which is group COA. So group chart of accounts or global chart of accounts. So this is the one I'm using for consolidation. It has 9 digits and the maintenance language is also English. So this is how we maintain a general definition of the chart of accounts. The second step in the chart of account is to maintain the account groups. I'm not going to get into the details here because this is out of the point that I'm trying to explain here in the video. But just for you to know, the next step is to define different account groups. So for each chart of accounts, we say what are the account groups. So for example, assets, revenues, expenses, and for each group we say what is the number range. So the GL accounts that belong, for example, to revenues are from 7000 until 799, for example. So we do this for all the different charts of accounts that we are using. And then here we have the link between the company code and the chart of accounts. So this is very important. Assign company code to chart of accounts. So if you go here, we have the different company codes and we have the chart of accounts here. So if I go to my company code AG00, so as you see here, I have the chart of account AG00 and the alternative chart of account FRCA. So this is the link between the company code, the operational chart of account, and the alternative chart of account. And once you activate this, you can start inserting the alternative account numbers in the GL account master data. Now let's go back. So this is the actual main configuration you have to do in order to start assigning different alternative accounts to your GL account master data. But also note that before you can assign any GL account, you actually have to define them first. So for example, let me switch to my master data here. So you see here I have my operational GL account 4010 under company code AG00. This is other revenues. And this account is connected to the alternative account number 70001. Now, before I can assign this number, I actually have to define it first. And this is an alternative account number, which means it's not defined for any company code, but it's defined only on the chart of account level. So to do this, you can use the other transaction where we can maintain GL accounts on the level of the chart of accounts only. Now, let's get back quickly to the concept. I explained it before, but let's review it together. The GL account master data that you see in front of you here is maintained on 2 levels. Any master data in SAP is maintained on different levels and you have to know them well. So the GL account is maintained on 2 levels. The first level is the chart of account level. So this is the general data that is shared between all the different company codes using the same GL account. So in our example here, other revenues account, the first tab, type and description, this is the general data. So this account is a primary cost or revenue. It belongs to the account group revenues and it has this description. So these are general details that are defined on the chart of account level and that are shared between all the different company codes using the GL account. But then the other tabs are company code specific data. So the general data we have is type and description, keyword translation. So this is the different translations for the description of the GL account, information chart of account, which is when this GL account was created and who created it. So these are general details, while the other tabs are company code specific. So the control data, for example, the currency, whether it requires taxes or not, if posting without taxes allowed, the alternative account number, this is on the level of the company code. So the same GL account, other revenues, in my company code AG00 in France can be in euros. but in Brazil it will be in Brazilian real, while in US it will be in USD, for example, and so on. So it can have different currencies based on the company code. So the GL account is defined on two different levels. This is very important. Chart of account, which is general data, and company code, which is company code specific data. So now this account, that any account that is an operational GL account from the operational chart of account that we want to use must be defined on the company code, because whenever we post with it, we must know what is the currency, whether there are taxes needed, and so on. But the alternative account numbers that are used for the local reporting, these are not used for posting. They are only used for mapping to local reporting. So they are only defined on the level of the chart of account, not on the level of the company code. So now the transaction I use here, FS00, which is everyone uses, is called GL account centrally. So this is to maintain GL account on both company code and chart of account, and you cannot maintain anything on the level of the chart of account only here. To do this, you have to use another transaction, which is FSP0. Let me show you this in the SAP menu so you can also see where this is located. So if I go here to, in the SAP menu, go to accounting, financial accounting, and then here go to general ledger and go to account or master records. Go to master records, GL accounts, individual processing. As you see here, we have three transactions. Centrally, which is the one I'm using, FS00, which is the one we always use, and FSP0, which is only on chart of accounts. So this is only for the general data, or FSS0, which is only in company code data. So now, before I can assign an alternative account number to my operational GL accounts, I have to define these numbers on the chart of accounts level. So you go here, and now let's say, for example, I want to define a GL account for my French chart of account. So this is FRCA. And then here you can click on create. Here it has to be FRCA. And let's say I'm going to create this account. So here I'm creating this GL account on the level of the chart of accounts, FRCA. As you see, we don't have the company code specific tabs. I'm only defining the general information on the chart of accounts level. So here this is primary cost, or maybe a non-operating expense or income. Account group is 7 revenues. Short text is other revenue 2, for example. Other rev 2, non-operating maybe. So non-operating revenue, something like this. And then here you can insert any translation you want. Information shows who created the GL account and when. This is it. So these are the chart of account related details. Now, after I save this account, I can start using it. Let's just go back. I forgot this field, PL statement account type, which is mapping to the retained earnings account. This is mandatory. Now that we have created our alternative GL account numbers, we can switch to our main chart of accounts or operational chart of accounts and start mapping the GL accounts here. So you have to create them first before you can map them. So this is the alternative account number. So now let's say, for example, this account now is mapped to our operational account 4010 is mapped to the alternative account 70001. This mapping, once you save it and you post any transaction to the GL account, can no longer be changed, and it should no longer be changed. A very important note about the alternative account number is it is not only on the master data level, it is actually copied to every entry you post to the GL account. So this is very important. It is copied to each transaction. So if I post a transaction today to the operational chart of account, to the operational GL account here, the record will also have the alternative account number. And if in the future we decide to change this alternative account number, and we do it anyway, so you shouldn't do it, we should not change it once we have any transactions, but in case we found a way to change it, SAP is not going to update the historical records. So you'll end up having old records to the old alternative accounts and the new records to the new alternative account. Let me show you this with a real example right now. So this is our GL account. Now let's switch and post a GL account document. So /OFB01. I'm going to post an accounting entry just to show you where the alternative account number will be. and here dr ag00 eur. Now let's switch here, put the GL account 50, posting key 50, which is a credit to GL account, and there is our other revenue account. Enter amount, let's say 2000. Okay, and then let's put here debit to a customer 01, and I don't remember the customer number, but I think this is the one. Okay, yes, it's working. So now I have a debit to a customer and a credit to other revenues account. Just an example. And I'm going to post this accounting entry. So now we posted an accounting document. If you try to display the document, you'll not be able to see in the line item here, you'll not be able to see the alternative account number. So you can look for it in additional data, nothing here. If you look here in the more details, you'll not find anything. But if you open the line item reports, so if I go here to /o FBL3H, so this is the GL account line items. You can also open FAGLL03H, it's the same thing. If I go here, and also if you open the older report, which is FBL3N, you will have the same result. So if I go here to all items, and let's insert our GL account number, and execute. Now in the report here, you see we have the accounting document number, we have the GL account, the alternative account. So here is what I wanted to show you. So we have the alternative account number. If you cannot see it, then you can find it in the layout. As you see here, we have all the different columns that we can choose. And I have selected that I want to see the alternative account number. So this is a proof that the alternative account number is copied to each transaction we post to the GL account. And if you change the alternative account number in the future, the older reports will not be updated. And I'm going to do another test case with you right now to show you this. So this is our first example we posted, and we have the alternative account number here. Now let's switch back to our master data. So I'm going to close this. So we are back to our master data here. And first, what I want to show you is that we cannot change the alternative account number without doing some manipulation, but the standard is we cannot change it. So now if I want to change this to the account that we just created, which ends with 2, so the other revenues account, the non-operating revenues, okay? Press enter, try to save. SAP is giving an error that change is not allowed since the account balance is not 0. If you open the error here, the error code is FH007. So we cannot change the alternative account because we already have some postings to the GL account. Even if we reverse the postings that we just did, SAP is going to show another error that will not allow us to change. So first of all, let me show you what happens here. So let's say, for example, that we decided that even though there is balance on the GL account, we want to change the alternative account number. We shouldn't. This is wrong. It will have business impacts and it will have reporting impacts, and we should not change it. But let's say for any reason you decided that we need to change it. First of all, I advise you to reverse any postings that you have to this GL account, or do a posting from this GL account to another intermediary one to make it 0, and then put back the balance on the new GL account. Otherwise, it will mess up your local reporting. But it's up to you. So if you say, I want to change this error message to a warning to be able to change the alternative account number, even though there is balance in the GL account, we can do this, but it will require configuration and someone who is authorized to do it. So don't worry if you are a project manager or a manager or something, no one can change this on his own. It requires authorization and it requires configuration. So the transaction to configure the message type in SAP is OBA5. This is going to be a very long video. I hope you enjoy it. So here, this is the transaction. First of all, you insert the application area. This is the first 2 digits you find in the error message. So you remember when we saw the error message, it was FH007. We will get back to see this again. So you have to insert here FH and then OK. So here we are in the general ledger module messages. So this is correct. Now we want to modify the behavior of the error message 007. So I'm going to create a new entry. Either you can find it here because someone already did this, or you do it yourself. So you click on create new entry and here insert 007. Enter. So you see message number 007 is not allowed. We are not allowed to change the behavior of this message from error to warning. So this is the first response we get. But we can also change this behavior. I'm not saying you should, but we can, just to show you the full reality about the topic. So now I'm going to switch to another transaction that's called OBMSG. So /n OBMSG, and this is the transaction that controls everything related to messages in SAP in general. So here I can go to the application area FH again, and inside here is where we actually, so you choose the area and then you click on messages, and here is where we actually define what are the different error messages and whether people are allowed to change them or not. So here I'm going to add another one, FH 007, and then here in allowed I will insert error and warning, and the standard is error. And if I even click switch off, it means that we give the person who is doing the configuration in OBA5 the option to completely turn off the message if needed. So now if I press enter here and then save, again this is a configuration change. Now if we go to /n OBA5, again go to FH. Now this time if I go to new entries, insert 007, online we can say warning, and in batch warning, enter. So now we are able to change the behavior of this message. We should not. I'm not saying that you should do this. This is completely wrong. I'm just showing you if you are in a testing system or if you are in a situation where you are completely stuck and you want to do it some way, this is how we can do it. It requires configuration changes, it requires authorizations, but if you have what's needed and if your team has what's needed, you can actually convert this message to a warning, but you shouldn't. This is completely wrong and it will mess up your reporting. I'm just giving the full reality about how to handle this topic, okay? So now I'm going to remove this because I don't like what I did. So I'm going to remove this completely from here, because you should not ever change the mapping if there is balance on the GL account. It can be done maybe if you have a zero balance. So for example, it happens that when we are creating the master data, someone did the mapping wrong, especially when you are going live with a project. So someone did wrong mapping in the master data, and then when we during the first period end closing, we discovered that the accounts are not well mapped and we have problems in our local reporting, and then the team demands to switch the mapping. If you want to do this, then the best you can do is to make the balance 0 before you do any changes. But doing changes while there is balance on the account is completely wrong and you shouldn't do it, okay? This is why I'm going to remove this. I just showed you that you can do it, but I'm not going to keep these changes, okay? And I will also switch back OBMSG and I will just remove this completely because this is really wrong what I did. So we'll go to position, FH, again, messages. But now you see how you can control the messages in OBA5, and even if they are not in OBA5, how you can add them in OBA5 using OBMSG. So I'm going to remove this line completely from here and save. Okay, now let's get back to our example, and I'm going to do the right thing. So the right thing to do is either reverse all the accounting entries posted to the GL account, change the mapping, and then put it back, put the balance back, or post the balance to another GL account, another intermediary GL account, change the mapping and then post the balance back. But anyway, the balance should be 0 before you proceed. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reverse the GL accounting document that we just posted using transaction FB08. I don't have the GL account number. Let's copy it from our report here. So the one that we just posted is this one, 25. So here 1800025. And the reversal reason is current period, and save. So now the document has been reversed. If we switch back to our report and just let's refresh, we can see here that the balance is 0 now, but we just have to confirm this. So you see the balance here is 0, we are good. Now let's switch back to the GL account master data, and here we have our alternative account number. So let's change it now to 02. Enter, and let's see what error message we are going to get, or if we are even going to get any error messages. So save, and here we have a warning message: account has already been posted, current account balance is 0. So this is a warning message, but it gives me the opportunity to change the alternative account mapping. And the reason I have this is because in OBA5 I marked this message as a warning. So let's double click on the message, and this message has the number FH, so this is the application area 165. Okay, so now we have changed the mapping successfully. Now let's switch to OBA5 so I can show you the configuration of this message. We no longer have it here, so let's just open another transaction /in OBA5 application area FH, and here if we go to new entries 165, so this is the warning message we just got. Enter. So online, let's say warning, batch input warning, just to see. So you see here the standard is warning in my system. This standard is coming from OBMSG, the other transaction. So the standard is warning. This is why it did not stop me, but we can still make it as an error. If in your company or in your project you find that this is dangerous and no one should do it, then you can make this as an error here, and no one will be able to bypass this message, and it will block everyone from changing the alternative account number. In my case, it is a warning message, so it allowed me to proceed. Now let's switch back, and I don't have to change anything in OBA5 because as you see the standard is warning, unless I want to change it to an error. And again, the standard is coming from OBMSG. So if in your system you find that the standard is error, then it's coming from OBMSG, okay, the other transaction. So now let's switch back to the master data, and now we have changed it. Now let's post another transaction just to show you that SAP is not going to update the historical data, okay? So I'm going to post another FB01 /in FB01, and let's just post the same transaction again. So again, we have credit to revenue. Let's say 3,000 this time. And we have a debit to our customer. And again 3,000. And save. Now if we switch to our line item report and refresh, now you see why this is dangerous. So you see here we have 701, 701, 7001, 701, and then you have 702. So the older transactions have not been updated with the new alternative account number. So whatever you have mapped before will still be there and will impact your local reporting. This is why before changing the alternative account number, you must make sure that the account balance is 0. And of course, if it is a P&L account, it will have different treatment than if it is a balance sheet account. Just be sure that you understand completely the impact of what you are doing on your reporting before you do it, okay? And so now you understand why we have alternative account numbers. So this is from the local chart of account. You understand how we assign it to the company code, and also you understand how to maintain it in the master data, how to change it if needed, how to change the behavior of the error and warning messages related to this. So now you should have all what you need to be able to treat any situation related to the alternative account number. The last thing I'm going to talk about now is the group account number. So the alternative account number is for the local chart of accounts, while the group account number is for the consolidation chart of accounts. So let's switch back to our GL account just to show you where you can maintain the group account number. So now we have our alternative account number here, and the group account number is actually in the general tab, because again, as we said, the mapping account number, so the group account number is not related to a company code. It is a general mapping that's related to the chart of account assigned to the operational chart of account, not to the company code. So the group account number is on the level of the chart of accounts, not on the company code. And this is normal because this is a consolidation account number. So regardless of the company code, they should all go to the same consolidation account. So now if I change this, here we can insert the group account number. So if I open here the available values, you can see that it is referring to GCOA, the global chart of account. Again, before we maintain any account number here, it should be created already in the global chart of account level, but this is not mandatory here. So I can insert a number. It will show me a warning message if the GL account is not created. So for example, if I say here any random number, like this, enter. So I get a warning message that it does not exist in the chart of account GCOA, but it is only a warning message. I can bypass it and normally proceed with my account creation. So this is it for the operational chart of account, the alternative chart of account, and the global or the group chart of account. I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I did. It is 4 a.m. now, and I'm really excited that I am explaining this to you. It has been a while since I explained a topic end to end like this. So I'm really enjoying this video. I hope you are also enjoying it. Let me know in the comments if I have explained the topic well, if you have any questions. I know that I have explained many different topics in the same video. Normally, I would divide it into multiple different videos, but it's okay. I'm going to leave it this way this time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's longer than usual. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any comments or if you want me to add anything to this topic. Don't forget to check the channel membership program to get access to member exclusive videos and our exclusive chat group where we can chat with different members and so on. Also, if you would like to get access to this SAP S4HANA 2023 system to practice yourself and also to follow my videos, then you can check my website, www.galalacademy.com. You will find all the details here. You can also book coaching sessions and inquire about different services. So just go to the website and you can also chat with me if needed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.